I think this is appropriate, because this is kind of how I felt when I checked my phone before I went to bed. So the perks of staying up till like 6 in the morning is that I saw the news immediately the second it dropped. Missing link truly be missing. It forever will be the missing link. Okay, I'm gonna put my hair back on. Okay, so let's talk about this fucking shit. Oh, brother. Yeah, for those who are not aware, they released a statement on Twitter that Missing Link has been officially canceled. And I can't say I'm that surprised by it, because we knew that they were doing something with it. Initially, it was delayed, and then they didn't explain why, and so it got really quiet. And so what we knew about Square is that they've been reevaluating basically everything. And they've recently come out with some information about their current roadmap and like what their plans are. And it's kind of reiterating what they already stated, which is that they're trying to go for quality versus quantity. And so they're trying to focus on making games medium to like big. And they're trying to get out of mobile game schlock. And so I assumed that Missing Link, because it was already far along, that they were just going to follow through with the project, even though they were kind of internally changing gears. And what I was hoping, though, is that they would go on the flippity flop, which was, okay, instead of making Missing Link a mobile game, we'll revamp it and make it a full-fledged title. Because that would be in line of what they're trying to do when it comes to just like anything nowadays. But no, it turns out that they decided, I guess they evaluated and they said, let's just pull the fucking plug. And so Missing Link has been officially canceled, which is kind of bananas considering how far along the game was. Like, you know, don't forget, y'all, it had a beta. Like, that thing was playable. It was far along. In fact, it was, like, ready to be shown off at, like, Summer's Game Fest last year, but then also got pulled. And I think they started evaluating if it was worth pursuing about a year or so ago. I don't think this came out of nowhere, at least, like, internally. Or at least, like, I think within the last year, it has been put on ice to be evaluated, because based off some of the business stuff, it literally seems like they went through each project with, like, a fine-tooth comb to determine if it was worth pursuing or keeping it going. So yeah, it's been officially canceled. Now, here's the thing. I am disappointed in a sense that I really hope that the ideas or the narrative that was set up in Missing Link does get repurposed somewhere else, hopefully maybe in a bigger game, or somehow gets reworked into Kingdom Hearts 4's narrative, because as we know, Missing Link was kind of there to kind of bridge the gap between the old and new saga, and clearly they've stated before that there were stuff relevant in Missing Link that would show up in Kingdom Hearts 4. And conceptually, or at least like based off of the visuals and what we saw, despite the Kingdom Hearts fandom not really liking mobile games all too much, Missing Link was like the most promising looking one because the production value was really high. You know, it was going to elaborate on characters that, you know, we wanted some, or get some answers for some characters that we wanted, introduce some new characters. Overall, it was like, you know, had Missing Link was developed at a different point in time, like, you know, around Birth by Sleep and DDD era, it would be comfortably a side game at that point, right? That's the kind of treatment it was getting. So that's where a lot of like the excitement was for that game, was strictly from a narrative thing. Not so much the type of game it was, that was like the kind of the baggage attached to it. And really, like, you know, the general excitement was because conceptually it looked really cool, not because it was a gacha game, you know? Ultimately, had Missing Link come out as it was initially planned, which was as a mobile game, it probably wouldn't have had a long life cycle. It definitely, like, you know, I even joke that they should just take the current cutscenes that they have and upload them online, because that's how most people are going to play it anyway, or experience the story, was just watch it. And it seems like Square also made that call internally. I think they just knew that, you know, this type of game, and they literally have the metrics to show this up too, you know, because of like their business reports. They straight up have a slide being like, yeah, our mobile games are not making money, and they drag down the brand prestige. We should stop making these. And it's true. Had Missing Link, I think, come out in the current initial plan of a gacha game, you know, live service gacha game, it wouldn't have had a long life cycle, and even if the story was well praised, it would have, you know, fallen to Union's fate or Dark World's fate, which is like, you know, most people just watching it online anyway. And so I think for the longevity and the health of the series, to make sure that, like, you know, important plot details are not shoved into a mobile game again, I think this is a wise decision. I feel very sad for the people who worked on Missing Link and put all that time and effort into it, but like, goddamn, is this truly an indicator of like the old CEO's shit versus the new CEO's shit? Because the old CEO is the one that like approved Missing Link as a mobile game, and then halfway through the development they changed gears, and now here we are, and they've reevaluated it was not worth pursuing. And this is how you know it was probably a smart decision, because people like me, I would say hardcore Kingdom Hearts fan, not many people are that choked up over it, you know? And people who are choked up over it, they're more concerned about what the implications are for the story than they are the actual game. That's the tell, is that when your fandom is more like bittersweet, like, ah, that sucks, but it is what it is, versus like being fuming mad. And I'm not getting fuming mad from the reaction. I'm getting, like, you know, concern about the future of the series, but not like, ah, damn, I was really looking forward to this, you know? Because I was looking forward to the narrative. I was not, real talk, guys, I was going to watch it like a lot of people, and I'm the primo person they should be catering shit towards for the most part. Like, I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan through and through, and I wasn't gonna play this fucking thing, but I was interested in the plot. Like, basically every Kingdom Hearts fan, you know, the plot is the carrot that they dangle in front of you. That's why everyone, like, you know, Union, despite not many people being into mobile games, liked Union because of the plot. And I will 100% defend Union as a plot because it is very cool. It adds a lot to the story. You know, it is like, obviously plays into Kingdom Hearts 3. It is essential to the Kingdom Hearts story. And the fact that, like, most people have experienced it through, like, fan dubs and stuff, like, the fandom has done a lot of work to make sure that that story is digestible for people or, like, you know, consumable. And they gotta take that shit and put it in something else, you know? The only problem with the mobile thing is because, like, they're gone now. That's the issue, is that plot is, like, you literally can't even, they deleted it from the store. The only way you can consume that story now is through, like, the fandom, which is not a great position to be in when that narrative is crucial to the setup of your big installments. And that's where we're at right now. That's why I keep banging this drum of, like, take Union, take Dark Road, take whatever concepts you had for Missing Link, put it in a blender, and give us something big with that plot, because it's really cool. There's a big question mark right now of, like, okay, well, what are you gonna do with it? If it was just, like, one of those things where these kinds of plots were said and done, it was, like, over for the Dark Secret Saga, but it's not, though. Like, Kingdom Hearts 4 specifically is building on the Lost Master arc. You know, the Lost Masters are going to be, like, the new antagonists, I'm assuming. And their stories are in Union. Like, these are crucial kind of building blocks for your next, like, you know, main villains and shit. Like, they need to have a means for people to, like, experience that story in, like, a really, really straightforward, accessible way that isn't, like, through fan dubs, you know? Like, I don't blame people for being really, like, antsy right now or just, like, impatient, because it's like, okay, you kept us in the dark for a long time. Missing Link is now canceled, and we knew that was going to play some role in the Kingdom Hearts 4, and Kingdom Hearts 4, again, is, like, the only news that we got is that they're still working on it, obviously. But it's like, you know, what's going to happen to the ideas of Missing Link? Is that getting reworked into KH4? Is there going to be a replacement project that is, like, something bigger? Like, there's this whole subplot of Kingdom Hearts happening that's supposed to play into this next arc, and right now it's been axed, so it's like, what's happening there? There's a lot of speculation right now about, like, what KH4 is looking like, the health of the series. People are scared. I'm not that worried about it, just because, again, they're literally canceling it because they don't want to put schlock out anymore. And Missing Link, despite, you know, the concept of it looking really cool and the story looking really promising, it would have been mobile game schlock, you know? And so, like, I'm happy that they're avoiding that pitfall again, because, like, Kingdom Hearts is a premium IP and stuff. It sells well. And so if they are able to repackage those concepts and put it into something, a bigger game that go alongside KH4, I think that would be fucking awesome. So, like, it sucks right now, but I do think for the longevity of the series, this will be considered a smart move. But it is really disappointing to see all of this work kind of be for nothing. Yeah, Yoko Shimomura even tweeted about it, being like, damn, I was really excited for people to hear my tracks because, like, I put a lot of work into it. And she even says, like, I hope people can hear them one day. And from what we heard from the beta and stuff, like, yeah, the Yoko Shimomura popped the fuck off once again with the OST. It's a lot of assets, that's the thing. Like, it's a lot of shit, and it was almost done. Like, you gotta do something else with it. Yeah, I want them to repackage the mobile games, and the completed parts of Missing Link as a console collection would be a great way to preserve the stories. I absolutely agree. I really hope that it just doesn't fuck with whatever ideas KH4 is setting up, and they have to rework that somehow, some way. Because even if they got word that Missing Link was, like, getting canceled last year and they just didn't announce it until recently, because they really did, like, they delayed it already internally. I think they knew it was being put on ice to reevaluate, because they literally went through, like, every other project to reevaluate them and see, like, where the problems were. I feel like they've had at least around a year or so to kind of anticipate that Missing Link wasn't going to be a thing, so that maybe they could change some stuff in KH4 to accommodate for that. And the thing, and we'll never know. We'll never know. It's not like we have, like, we know what Kingdom Hearts 4 is, like, what the plot is, and we can't really, like, compare and contrast. It's like, okay, here's KH4 if Missing Link got canceled, and here's KH4's plot if it didn't get canceled. You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally don't know. And we have no idea, like, what kind of stuff had Missing Link actually come out. Was it really, truly going to play into KH4? Like, we know some of it was, but to, like, what extent? How deep? How necessary? You know, we always know that there's, like, you know, the plots are always necessary to an extent, but, like, how crucial was Missing Link for Kingdom Hearts 4's setup, and could it be rewritten in a way to still have it work? And it's literally who's to say. We have no idea. I'd be pleasantly surprised if we got a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer at Summer's Game Fest, because, like, at least when it comes to the timeline and stuff, you know, there was 2 separate teams, like the Missing Link team and then, like, the full main Kingdom Hearts team and stuff like that. So I'm sure Kingdom Hearts 4's development, I guess, despite, like, this plot hiccup, probably the only thing that's been affected, that could be remedied through very straightforward ways or, like, you know, concise ways. Yeah, I think it's mainly just people concerned about, like, the health of the series and, like, what the plan is, and the fact that there has been really, really no communication whatsoever from the Kingdom Hearts team, really from anything Square Enix and stuff, but we know that, is that they're literally recalibrating, and clearly they fucking mean business because they axed this thing. I do think it's probably a smart choice in the long run. I just don't want to see those ideas go to waste and just be for nothing. There's a ton of mystery left in Kingdom Hearts. This is an incomplete story still. It's like, we want some answers. You know, that'd be nice. And I know KH4 could easily deliver a lot of stuff. It's going to be a massive game, but, like, you know, this was kind of there to be kind of the tide over to set us up for KH4. We don't got no tide over anymore. The 2 routes are this, because I know Nomura cares about the narrative and stuff, and they're not going to just leave, like, this massive gaping hole in the plot if stuff in Missing Link was relevant to KH4. I think 2 things are going to happen. They're reworking Kingdom Hearts 4's story to accommodate for this. You know, either they're removing things or changing things or incorporating things, or they're taking Missing Link and pushing it into something else, and they're going to have another Kingdom Hearts game that's just bigger. How about this? If Missing Link or Union or all that kind of stuff was repackaged into a game, you know, like Birth by Sleep or Dream Drop Distance, people would be fucking over the moon. So I don't think it's not going to go anywhere. I just don't know what's happening for, like, a lot of people. And I was really hoping they would, like, make it a more robust game, but if that happens later down the line under a different title, awesome, so be it. I'm not that upset about it, high-key. I'm just, like a lot of people, really curious to see how this fucks with shit in the future and what the current state of the plot looks like, considering we have a big gap now. Michael, look, I'm back with a 33 saying, it low-key pisses me off that people are trying to downplay this by saying the wait for KH3 was worse, you're just spoiled, like, oh my god, the bar is on the floor. It's been long, though. It has been long. This is literally the longest we've ever waited. The math, like, I get why people are like this. You know, like, I have an abundance of patience because, like, I'm just old at this point, but it's like, it's kind of messy. It's a little messy. And, like, I think the saving grace is just because, like, we know Kingdom Hearts 4 is real. We know they're gonna put their best foot forward in that case, but the wait is killing people. And how about the lack of communication is killing people. The wait isn't even, like, compared to some other games that are announced, like, way too early and stuff, like, where's the fuck is Elder Scrolls 6? You know, the wait has been, I would say, standard for some other games and stuff, but not for Kingdom Hearts. And so this has been the longest we've gone without anything. The communication has been very quiet. KH4 is not gonna get canceled, no worries there. No. But it's not like, oh, it's because the Kingdom Hearts brand itself is in trouble. It's literally because Square Enix is recalibrating. It's not just Kingdom Hearts that is being affected by these decisions. Everything is. A ton of mobile games have been shut down from them. You know, the business strategy is looking promising. It's just right now we're in limbo, and it's, like, hard to kind of be excited when you just don't know what's happening. Like, I'm not worried about the longevity of the series. I just, like, the lack of communication is annoying. Speculation will naturally run wild when you're not communicating, and I don't blame people for being like, what the fuck is happening? What are we gonna do? Like, what does this imply? I know KH4 is safe, and I know Kingdom Hearts as a brand is safe because money says it is safe. It is top 5 selling IPs. Money says it is safe, but you know, it's we got a big question mark ahead. You know, who's to say? Who's to say? Missing Link get 5 big booms as a way of, like, sending it up, like, 5 big booms of, like, like at a military funeral, like shooting the gun. Yeah.
He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
Ultimately, I'm not that upset. I'm just really curious now. Well, what are you doing with all of that? That game was so close to being done. It was a concept people were excited to see, or, like, the story was interesting based off of what we saw. The concept art was fucking sexy. I mean, it's literally like the Bloodborne Kingdom Hearts cover. You know, the music was bopping. Everything besides the fact that it was a mobile game looked really cool. So, like, what if we just take it and push it somewhere else? And I really thought they were just going to straight up rework it and keep it under the name, but maybe they'll rename it to something. I don't know. The Twitter account dropped some new screenshots of what? Is it KH4? Oh my god, what a hell of a day to fucking be dropping news, you know? Did they really drop screenshots of the canceled game? Is it 4? What? Oh my, why'd you guys say anything? Oh my god. Whoa! Why not drop a trailer? What are they doing? What is this marketing? Drop a trailer. Whoa! I know why they didn't drop a trailer. It's a consolation prize. They're like, hey, sorry we canceled the game. Anyway, here's Kingdom Hearts 4 Yeah, okay, hold on. We're pausing. Sorry, this is important. Literally, what a hell of a time to do this. I'm sorry for the people like, oh my god, the place, this is like kind of, it's been a fucking dry spell for 3 years and they drop screenshots while I'm playing fucking Epic Mickey. Oh, I thought they were individuals. No, it's just like a collage. Here it is. Here they are. Yeah, look, you can play as, you're playing as Mickey in what seems to be like the library. It's Sora in Quadratum and stuff, but like the phone? Some of this just kind of seems more like glowed up based off of the initial reveal trailer. Again, we know Starletzi is here. She looks better. Sora looks way better, looks way more defined. This right here though is like our first indicator that you can play as somebody outside of Sora. Yeah, Mickey in the castle library, because you can see some of like the Scala kind of like aesthetics. I don't recognize this. Also, Sora, his fucking, look at this. He looks so much more meaner. Sora looks noticeably more glowed up. He's looking a little more, he's looking kind of Yazora-y in this icon. Yeah, they still have the build feature over here. The build option, this was something that was also in the reveal trailer, which seems like it is something that they're going to stick with as like a gameplay mechanic. It's like a new mechanic that they're adding, the build feature. But if you go back and watch the original KH4 reveal, that's also in there. This is a consolation prize. This is like, sorry we canceled the video game, but here's the thing that you're actually like really looking forward to. This doesn't reveal all too much though. It's just like, oh, we're working on it. So to our Kingdom Hearts community, we are currently working hard on Kingdom Hearts 4 and will continue pouring ourselves into the game's development. We're dedicated to making this an experience that lives up to your expectations. Followed by, we see how excited you are and we are truly grateful from the bottom of our hearts. We are equally excited and can't wait to share more about Kingdom Hearts 4 when the time is right. Until then, we appreciate your patience. Thank you for your continued support. This is they're saying we're sorry. Because, like, why would they do this? We haven't heard about KH3 in 3 years. The only reason why they would show this now and not have it be a part of a trailer, I think the Kingdom Hearts team feels bad about Missing Link being canceled, and they feel like, have something. We promise we're working on it. Here's the thing. This is cool. However, when it comes to like the reveal trailer that we already have, this is not showing us anything too crazy. Like, you know, this is basically what the reveal trailer was already showing, except it's more glowed up. You can clearly see they've made progress in it. But the Mickey thing is definitely something. This is new. Playing as Mickey though implies shit. That's crazy. We're in a big ass library. And I wonder if it's like, I do wonder if it's Scala. It seems like you have just limited moves against just basic attack. I'm trying to hone in, like, what is this over here? It looks like a fucking, like, techno ring of some kind. I think Mickey's in Scala inside of a building. He was going to Scala at the end of Melody of Memory. Yeah, probably. He's probably trying to, like, figure out, because it looks like it based off of some of the, you can see it over here. From the molding of the bookshelf and all that. Just the aesthetics of it is like very similar to that. But the fact that like now it's confirmed that like you're gonna be playing as other characters, you know, or at least like in segments. I'm sure like KH3 or something. Like, you know, Kingdom Hearts has done that before, like every now and then you play as like a different character for like a certain segment. Why does the Mickey screenshot look like it does look like a stealth mission, straight up. Like I think it kind of implies it too. Because like you only have the attack feature. He looks like he's sneaking. So what, is Mickey gonna have like fucking Metal Gear Solid segments where we're like breaking into the library? Again, I don't know what's going on here. This is fucking particle effects galore. And then the shadows, look at these new shadows that we have. They're like way more fucked up looking and normal Heartless and stuff. And these guys look like they have like fucking gauntlet fists. These kind of look like the Gigas a little bit. Yeah, the lighting on this is definitely still in development. They don't even have all the lighting turned on. You can tell by the skybox and how like they literally have no shadows on them. Very much still in development. Starletzi looks way better though. These cutscenes look way more fleshed out. I don't know what the phone's implying. What's with the phone? Is that our way to like call back to the or to the reality? This is fucking sick though. I'm not sure if you can see Sora like slamming down on Darkseid here, but they adjusted the lighting. Darkseid looks way more creepy looking. This is kind of low-key funny because you know this wasn't planned. You know this wasn't fucking planned. They saw the reaction of Missing Link and they're like, we gotta give him something. The screenshots from the Japanicon have slightly different gameplay pictures, do they now? Okay, let me pull it up. Why would they drop two different sets of pictures? You're right, it is. Why? Yeah, look. So here's the from the English account, and then here's from the Japanese account. This is sexy though. The build feature with like the chains and like climbing all of this. Yeah, these new Heartless are fucking creepy looking. They're like if like Nobodies and Heartless like had a baby. Cartoony Heartless equals cartoony people. Realish people equals realish Heartless and stuff. Yeah, it's probably just like taking on the aesthetics of the world. So that's the thing about like why does Sora look like this? What they've said about KH4, I guess prior to this like, you know, drought of no news, was that KH4 was going to be different in some capacity, but still like follow the traditional Kingdom Hearts formula, implying that yes, you're going to be going from Disney World to Disney World. And the reason why Sora looks so like hyper realistic is just because Quadratum, aka modern day Tokyo, that's the aesthetic of the world, and Sora always takes on the art direction and the aesthetics of that world. So, you know, similar to how, you know, when you go into like Nightmare Before Christmas and, you know, he looks like that, or like Atlantica, you're a mermaid, same thing here. So Sora just takes on the aesthetics of the world, and Quadratum is the real world, or at least like the world of the dead. That's kind of what they're implying. It's in the unreality. You know, he no-clipped out of the Kingdom Hearts reality. Now he's in our reality. And so I get, maybe, I wonder if the phone, because I always said Sora getting here, obviously not easy, but I feel like something has to happen very early in the plot where like the lines between the reality and the unreality become very blurred, and traveling between them becomes a lot more straightforward, instead of like, you know, having it to where the very difficult way to get to Quadratum was like, you know, breaking the rules of the universe and getting punished for it. So I wonder if the phone is it. I wonder if you can like call out of it. You know, why would they show this? Why would they just show a fucking rotary phone? What if it's going like Matrix style, where it's like pick up the phone and then you get plopped out of Quadratum and get put into back into the reality. I hope this makes sense for people who are following Kingdom Hearts lore, because like that's how I see it, is that something has to happen very early in the game in order for the traditional Kingdom Hearts experience to happen, which is jumping from Disney World to Disney World. And as it stands right now, you know, Quadratum is kind of a difficult place to get to. It's in a different universe, essentially, or like, you know, in the unreality. And so I feel like something has to happen where the lines get really blurred, and going back and forth between Quadratum and the rest of the Kingdom Hearts universe, it becomes a lot more straightforward. Because Quadratum is going to be the hub moving forward. It's like the Twilight Town, or like, you know, the Traverse Town, or whatever. It's going to be the new main hub, which means going back and forth between it will become streamlined somehow. And I just wonder what's going to happen there. And I wonder if the phone is it. Maybe you can literally call your way out of it. Cool as these screenshots are, it's not anything like that crazy beyond what the trailer, what the KH4 reveal trailer showed off. It's just showing that they've clearly made progress in the game, you know, because Strelitzia looks a lot better, Sora looks a lot better, they look more, you know, glammed up. The Mickey thing is really the biggest difference here, of like, this is something we have not seen. We didn't know you could play as Mickey, and so this is kind of it. So yeah, they're sitting on something, and I'm sure they're ready to show it off, but this is absolutely a way to just apologize to people for missing Link, to kind of just give them stuff, you know. Damn. All right. What a time to drop this while we're trying to play fucking the real Kingdom Hearts game, Epic Mickey Rebrush. Damn. All right. Well, tangent over. If anyone asks if I've seen the screenshots, tell them yes. We react to them on stream.